St. Pete leaders want to know if the city can unplug itself from Duke Energy. That would mean setting up its own public electric utility, similar to what Clearwater has talked about. The topic came up today at City Hall. Let's bring in Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer, who's live in St. Pete, where he talked to city council members about this. Aaron, as you know, this would be a titanic move here. Tell us some more about this.
And Mark, they say it's very early on in the process. They're still trying to figure out if this is something that's even possible, and they're asking Mayor Ken Welch to help get some answers.
Your constituents are crying out for relief from skyrocketing utility bills.
St. Pete community members aren't the only ones complaining about rising electric bills.
$450 was my bill yesterday, the highest bill that I have ever received. And I was disgusted because I felt what my constituents are feeling.
City council members want to know if a solution could involve ditching Duke Power and creating a city-operated utility.
Mr. Chair, the motion to approve agenda item H4A passes 5-3.
In a 5-3 vote, the council agreed to ask Mayor Ken Welch to get proposals for a feasibility study on the issue. Councilman Richie Floyd proposed the idea.
This is a critical time for us to evaluate if they're really meeting our energy goals.
That's because the city's current 30-year deal with Duke ends next year.
I think one thing that's proven is cities that have their own municipally controlled electrical grid have rates on average 20% lower than the city of St. Petersburg does with Duke Energy.
Duke Energy has said recent rate increases were largely driven by recovery costs associated with last year's hurricane season. Still, Councilwoman Brandy Gabbard says a lot of residents want to know if a public utility would be cheaper.
They are the ones that are paying these bills. They are the ones who are feeling this pain.
Councilman Mike Harding, however, wonders if the city is about to learn that creating a public electric company from the ground up is too big a task.
You are talking about building from scratch a billion-dollar company. It needs an emergency operations center. It operates 24 hours a day. It has to be able to do things literally instantaneously.
In a statement to Fox 13, a Duke Energy spokesperson responded saying the company values its relationship with the city, adding in part, providing electricity is a critical service and it's a responsibility we take very seriously. We're continuing to strengthen the grid and deploying technology to reduce and shorten outages. We'll continue to work with St. Petersburg, as we have for more than 125 years, to ensure we're ready to respond when storms strike. And there are roughly a few dozen municipalities in Florida that run their own electric utility. Bartow, Jacksonville, Kissimmee, those are just a few of them. Mark, as you said, Clearwater is also conducting its own feasibility study, and some of those council members in St. Pete said that they're really interested to seeing what Clearwater comes up with when their study comes back in the next probably several weeks to months.
Yeah, all right, we'll see what they decide. Aaron Mesmer, live for us. Aaron, thanks.